Have you ever experienced a Halloween filled with excitement and mystery that turned into a chilling encounter? Back in 2018, during my last year of middle school, Halloween was the talk of the town for me and my friends. The anticipation was high, knowing it might be our final year for trick-or-treating as we were deemed too old for it. The school day was cut short, giving us ample time to prepare for the evening's adventure. As the clock struck 5, we gathered at my house, ready to embark on a candy-collecting mission. With our black attire and makeshift masks, we set off through the neighborhood, the setting sun casting an eerie glow. Our destination, the upscale street on the other side of the neighborhood, where the affluent residents promised full-sized candies. The journey took us to various houses, our low-effort costumes still managing to pass as legitimate trick-or-treaters. As we reached the opulent houses, a flaw in our plan became evident. The mansions were spread far apart, requiring a jog between each one to meet our ambitious candy quota. Hours passed, and by the time we approached the final houses, most of the other kids had retired for the night. The late hour didn't deter us, though. Just past 9 p.m., with darkness enveloping the neighborhood, we decided to head back to my house. However, our Halloween night took an unexpected turn when we encountered a mysterious hooded man. Alone on the road, he observed us from a distance. Feeling uneasy, we crossed to the other side of the road, but his gaze lingered. As we hurriedly walked, the man remained a disconcerting presence. Suddenly, one of my friends stopped abruptly, and when I looked up, my playful banter turned into stunned silence. The hooded figure stood near a house, concealed by trees and shadows. It seemed to be the same man from earlier. Fear struck as he waited for us to approach. Unsure of what to do, we cautiously continued walking, keeping a close eye on the man. As we neared him, he started walking toward us. Panic set in, and we sprinted towards the trees on the opposite side of the road. Into the woods, we ran, hoping to find safety in the darkness. The pursuit ceased, and we took a moment to catch our breath. Yet, the relief was short-lived as we heard footsteps in the woods, signaling that the hooded man hadn't given up. Huddled against a tree, we listened, and when the footsteps faded, we cautiously emerged from the woods, making our way back to my house. The encounter left us shaken, and although we refrained from reporting it to the authorities, the decision to abandon Halloween traditions lingered. The memory of that night, the pursuit into the woods, and the unknown intentions of the hooded man continue to send chills down my spine. Have you ever experienced a seemingly ordinary Halloween night take a chilling turn, leaving you questioning the mysterious events that unfolded? Last Halloween, at the age of 26, I found myself in the midst of a peculiar and unsettling series of events. Residing alone in a small house in a typical neighborhood, my routine on Halloween usually involved handing out candy to kids until the early evening and then enjoying a night of solitary movie watching. This year seemed no different as children flocked for treats from 3 to 7 p.m., after which the neighborhood quieted down. Eager to start my movie marathon, I placed the candy bowl by the door and settled onto the couch with the remote in hand. However, the routine took an unexpected turn when a knock echoed through the silence. Opening the door, I was greeted not by costumed children but by a middle-aged man in regular clothes. Perplexed, I inquired about his presence, only to learn he was looking for his son, Aaron, who was supposedly lost while trick-or-treating. Strangely, the man's demeanor remained emotionless, intensifying my unease. He walked away without providing further details, leaving me bewildered. Sensing something amiss, I called the police, reporting the encounter and expressing concern for a potential missing child. Despite providing all the details, the operator indicated that action would only be taken if new information surfaced. Resuming my Halloween night, I opted for a horror movie, the Scream series, which had just begun. As the movie unfolded, there were no more knocks or trick-or-treaters. By the movie's end, it was nearly 11 p.m., and I was ready for bed. However, a glimpse of a figure in a window across the room sent a shiver down my spine. The figure vanished before I could react. With trepidation, I approached the window but found no one outside. The unsettling feeling lingered. Retrieving the candy bowl by the front door, my eyes caught movement in the window, and a loud impact against the glass followed. A figure stared at me before darting towards the backyard. Fear seized me as I dialed 911 once again, waiting anxiously in the hallway. Police arrived promptly, but the intruder had vanished. Investigation revealed a cracked window, presumably caused by a rock or tool. The stranger's intentions remained a mystery. Despite my attempts to find a connection between the man on the porch and the window incident, no concrete evidence surfaced. Moreover, no reports of missing children emerged, leaving the true purpose of the man's visit to my house shrouded in uncertainty. Have you ever felt the eerie presence of someone following your every move, turning a seemingly ordinary Halloween night into a mysterious and unsettling encounter? 2 years ago, on Halloween night, my best friend V and I, both college roommates in our last year, decided to make the most of the holiday. While too old for traditional Halloween activities, we settled on a cozy night of baking cookies and watching a scary movie in our small house. Little did we know that the night would take a sinister turn. Heading to the grocery store for supplies around 8 p.m., the holiday had left the store nearly empty. In an aisle, a man's unsettling gaze caught my attention, making me uneasy. Ignoring the encounter, I gathered what I needed and headed to the checkout. As I left the store, the strange incident slipped my mind. Driving home, I noticed the sparsity of cars on the road, indicating that most had settled in for the night. Pulling into my street and parking in the driveway, an unnerving incident occurred. A car passed by at an unnaturally slow pace, its tinted windows concealing any clues about its occupants. Once past my driveway, they sped away, leaving me with an uncomfortable feeling. Inside, I recounted the incident to V, who brushed it off. We began baking cookies and discussing movie choices until an unexpected doorbell ring interrupted our night. V, intrigued, checked the peephole and opened the door slightly. What transpired was puzzling. V mentioned a man in a cheap plastic mask who remained silent when questioned. V closed the door, perplexed. Curiosity getting the better of me, I inspected for myself. Looking through the peephole revealed an empty porch, but a glance across the street unveiled the same slow-moving car parked in front of our house, engine off and lights extinguished. Concerned, I called V to confirm my discovery, but before we could investigate further, a thud echoed from the basement. Fear gripped us as we listened to muffled footsteps shuffling through the basement. V swiftly dialed the police, and I pressed my body against the basement door, desperately hoping to remain unnoticed. The suspense heightened as the footsteps approached the stairs, eventually stopping. Moments later, the basement fell silent. With V urging me to follow him, we raced to the front and out of the house. In my car a few streets away, we waited for the police to arrive. When they did, the basement door was wide open, revealing shoe prints leading from a broken window well. The intruder had vanished, leaving behind unanswered questions and a chilling realization. He had followed me from the store, stalked our every move, and attempted to break in. The motive remained unknown, leaving us unsettled and hoping never to uncover